Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk everything Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates. I am your host, Brady Vini, and hope you all had a nice weekend as we are back here on a Monday here to recap all the latest in Pittsburgh professional sports news, which honestly, there isn't that much to talk about. Usually the bread and butter subject of the program, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they are going to be on break here for the next month until they return to the practice field at Latrobe, at St. Vincent College in Latrobe, I will say, for the beginning of training camp. Until then, we are stuck talking mostly about the Pittsburgh Pirates. They just wrapped up a 4-game set against the Chicago Cubs, and a very ugly 4-game set aside from the game that I was live for on Friday. And also, we got a bit of Pittsburgh Penguins news that we are going to begin the program with here in a matter of moments. But first things first, if you are new here, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. Also, feel free to like and share this video and comment in the comments section. I like when you guys do so. I like interacting. So any thoughts, opinions, questions, concerns, anything that you have, get those in the comment section. I can pop those up on the screen and we can engage that way. We are going to need it here today to keep the show on for too long, but we are going to start with hockey, like I just said, with some news in a story from Josh Yohe of The Athletic, coming out with a story saying that Evgeni Malkin it will be allegedly his last year with the Pittsburgh Penguins this upcoming season. Yohe posted the link to his article on Twitter saying that, I know it's not known if Evgeni Malkin is going to retire from hockey after the season, but from what I've heard, the 2025-26 campaign will be his final season with the Penguins. I believe Yohe's article went on to say that Malkin, he's getting up there, not known whether or not he is going to retire, might want to stick around a little while longer with Sid and Letang, but if he doesn't, it doesn't look like the Penguins, who are in the midst of a rebuild right now, are going to offer him a new contract, which is, say what you will about that. Fenway Sports Group, they're in a lot of hot water right now, especially for a trade that their baseball team, the Boston Red Sox, just did. I'll talk to you about that here in a little bit. But yeah, this is really going to be the first massive domino, aside from Marc-Andre Fleury leaving all those years ago, of the old guard fading out here. Malkin, he's coming off of a season where he wasn't necessarily injured, but you could tell that he took a step back on ice production. His speed, took a dip. He wasn't on the, top power play unit sometimes too. So he really took a step down last year. People wondering, is he still going to be the second line setter heading into this next season? Who knows? But Yohe coming out with that piece saying that the Penguins reportedly will not offer Malkin a contract extension. So be interested to see how he deals with it this upcoming season. See if he has a response to this, Malkin, that is. Because, I'm not sure if he's like this or not. You got to wonder if he'll get out ahead of the sword here and say, hey, I want to play hockey beyond next year, or that, hey, this will be my last year, and take a retirement tour like his, one of his longtime teammates, Marc-Andre Fleury, just did. We do not know that. We do not know what Gino is thinking right now, how his body feels. Hell, he could, come out and say at the beginning of this year, like, no, I want to keep playing. And then by the time, mid-season hits, or, 3/4 of the season, his body's worn down, or God forbid he suffers another big injury, he might call it a career then. We don't know. But apparently the Penguins are just not going to, trade any of the core three. They are just going to allow their contracts to run out. And, I could see people be like, oh, why not just, I know you're rebuilding, but let the core three go out and they'll go at Kyle Dubas for this. It's kind of like what the, deal was with Fleury all those years ago. You had, when you were coming off of 2 Stanley Cup championships, and Matt Murray won those, you had to stick with Matt Murray and unfortunately leave Marc-Andre Fleury unprotected. And when he got taken in the expansion draft. If Malkin plays like how he did this past season, then it's going to be a move that our heads are going to need to understand, but that our hearts are going to be completely devastated to see. Unfortunately, this is the part of sports that nobody wants to talk about. Our favorites, they're going to fade off, maybe go somewhere else or just retire. This could be like, a situation moving over to the football side here. Nobody thought Tom Brady was ever going to leave New England. No. Am I saying Gino's Tom Brady? No. Am I saying he's going to be like Tom Brady, go somewhere else and win a Stanley Cup? Probably not. But, if Gino keeps playing, he might wrap up his career elsewhere. Or you got to wonder, I think this is how Sidney Crosby would think, but you got to wonder if Gino would think it if the Penguins don't offer him a contract extension and he played this next season like he was going to continue playing. Does he just say, like, I respect my legacy here in Pittsburgh and being a one jersey guy better than maybe going and chasing a cup with a team for 1 year when I already have 3? Just lots of questions here that are going to need to be answered here over the next couple of months here before the season starts. And then once the season starts, we'll have to see how Malkin plays in what could be his last year with the Pittsburgh Penguins, according to Josh Yohe of The Athletic. If this is Gino's final year heading into this next season, he'll leave behind one of the greatest careers that any hockey player could have. Over 1,200 games played, well over 1,300 points, 3 Stanley Cups, 1 Conn Smythe in 2009, 180 points in 177 playoff games. He's won the Hart Trophy, the Lindsay Trophy, the Calder, 2-time Art Ross winner, and behind Alex Ovechkin, he is second all-time for points by a Russian player. Also third all-time in points in Penguins history, of course, behind the 2 greatest hockey players of all time, in my opinion, along with Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, and Sidney Crosby. It sucks that this is coming to it, but we knew this day would come eventually. Just unfortunately, if Josh Yohe's report is correct, that day will be coming soon where we see Evgeni Malkin suit up in a Penguins jersey one final time. 4 of you in here right now, welcome to the stream. If you are new here, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. Also, feel free to like and share this stream and comment in the comment section. Get any thoughts, opinions, anything on your mind in the comment section there. I can pop those up on the screen and we can interact that way. Going to be a bit of a short Monday live stream here. Of course, no massive Pittsburgh Steelers news due to them being on break here for the next month. We do have a little bit of tidbits. One story from Friday night that I did not get to during the live stream for my Pirates Cubs commentary. Also another one, some Steelers rookies doing some cool things in the community. But let's move on to the second massive segment of the game of the live stream here. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Pirates. They just wrapped up a 4-game series on the road at Wrigley Field against the Chicago Cubs, and absolute horrendousness on their behalf. They lost game 1. Andrew Heaney pitched well, but not good enough. Bucs ended up losing that one. They then had a good showing, or I guess as good of a showing that, the team can provide lately given their offensive output. They won 2-1 on a Paul Skeens day. Skeens got the no decision in that. The Bucs ended up winning that in extra innings. David Bednar shut that one down. And then they played games 3 and 4 of that series this weekend. On Saturday, Bucs first inning, right here, Andrew McCutchen. I mean, how this guy is, being questioned. Is he a Hall of Famer? Is he not? I say put him in right now. He continues his hot streak with the bat, hitting homers left and right. Hit and first inning home run to left center field off of Matthew Boyd. That put the Bucs on the board. Unfortunately, that was all that they showed the entire day. Cubs on a they tie it up on a sacrifice fly in the third inning, and then in the sixth inning, a solo home run from Dansby Swanson. That's all that the Cubs needed. It was just pain to watch this offense go through that game. That's all they needed, just those 2 runs. And Andrew McCutchen was the only one that looked like he had any sense of a professional at bat that game. Pretty much the same thing happened the next day. Similar storyline. Bucs got out to a 1-0 lead. They had a nice, first inning against Colin Ray, the former Milwaukee Brewer. 3 singles, an RBI single from Spencer Horwitz, scored O'Neal Cruz, and also Alexander Canario. He got, a lucky ground out RBI there on a broken bat. That made it 2-0, and then 2-1. Cubs came all the way back. Ian Happ walked. He then stole, ground out, then scored. He then advanced to third on a ground out, and then he came in to score when second baseman Nick Gonzalez made a heck of a play to, keep the ball from going up the middle. But Happ came in to score. Things then went 2-2. Michael Buschy hit a double, and Dansby Swanson, who scored the go-ahead and game-winning run the previous game, he then came around to score. Mitch Keller looked spotty at times in that game, but still, though, gave his, I think, MLB leading 11th quality start of the season. Crazy that, he leads the league in quality starts, and his record is 1-9 now. 9 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, only gave up 3 hits, but only struck out 3, didn't have his best stuff. Got a no decision in that one. Game went to extra innings again, and then the Pirate Killer, Mount Lebanon's own Ian Happ, walk-off single when David Bednar, he came in again in extra innings. Unfortunately, unlike Friday, he couldn't, shut things down. Got hit around, looking like the heckle and jive David Bednar that we've known this year. Cubs took 3 out of 4 of the series. They remain atop of the National League Central standings, and just unbelievable bad baseball from this Bucs offense. And it's getting redundant here saying this, because what else can be said? There's not much we can do to fix this offense. Just going through the lineup here from the game on Sunday here. Let me pull it up here real quick. Right here. Sunday. Box score right here. The Bucs lineup. O'Neal Cruz batting leadoff. Was 1 for 3 in the game. Also walked once. That was one of his better appearances within the past couple of weeks. After getting off to a hot start this season, looking like, hey, this guy's finally figured it all out. He's going to be a superstar now. The issues that have plagued him with the bat all his career have reoccurred. Can't hit breaking balls. Lefty on lefty. He's just as good as Jack Sawinski going up there with the bat. And he's in between on his swings right now. He's late on the fastball and he's early on the breaking balls. He doesn't know, how many times we've seen a ball, whether it's a breaking ball or a fastball, go right down the middle and he misses it or foul tips it. It's getting frustrating. Brian Reynolds, 0 for 4 on Sunday. Looked like everybody was going to say, oh, hey, calendar's turning to June. You could see Brian Reynolds coming back into his truest form there at the end of May. June's going to be a big month for him. Hasn't shown anything for like the past week and a half. Nick Gonzalez, 1 for 4. Still just an average batter. Still a little bit of strikeout issues here and there, but I mean, not much you can do for him. He is a Ben Cherington product after all, so not going to be too hard on him because Cherington doesn't know how to identify hitting talent worth anything. Spencer Horwitz, 2 for 4, still an average hitter, but still one of the best bats in the lineup right now. some days he'll go 2 for 4. Some days he'll, show everything just like Nick Gonzalez. Average. In the Bucs, they need better than average at this point to start producing runs. Alexander Canario, he batted 5th Sunday, finally got back into the lineup for the first time in forever because they wanted to keep playing Adam Frazier out there and left, and Tommy Pham is starting to start more games over him again. Don't know why. He went 0 for 3, showing his rust. Had a walk and a strikeout. Don't blame too much of that on him. But then again, what's his ceiling? Not that, high of a ceiling. Adam Frazier 0 for 4. His lucky streak of hitting the ball well, that's come crashing down. Ke'Bryan Hayes, don't even get me started. Playing a power bat position shows no power. Either, looks like he's trying to look into the dugout behind him with each and every swing he has. Every single foul ball he hits is to the stands down the right field line. He's got an OPS, way low. OPS of that's on base percentage. That 229 batting average, but his OPS isn't nothing, to get too excited about. Henry Davis made one at bat in relief for Brett Sullivan, drew a walk. Still, though, just like Nick Gonzalez, another Ben Cherington product who's been super underwhelming as of late. He hit the 2 home runs, coming off the bench in the past couple of weeks. That's pretty much all he's done. Maybe we just start bringing him in. Don't tell Henry when he's playing. Just say, Henry, go. That seems to be, his bread and butter. And then number 9 hitter, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Arguably your best hitter in this lineup based on batting average alone, but, only so much he can do at the bottom of the lineup, batting 9th. Still, as much as I hate saying it, for, as good as his batting average looks, still a utility guy who should be in there, in relief of starters playing every day. Not looking good. But just terrible series from the Bucs. I don't even know what to, say to fix this offense. What are you going to do? Trade off, DFA Tommy Pham? That'd be a hell of a start. I mean, the worst thing you can do, in my opinion, is what I think Ben Cherington most likely is going to do is keep Tommy Pham up until the trade deadline, and then if he can't trade him, DFA him then. What's that going to do? You DFA Tommy Pham then, you're going to get, maybe a month or a few weeks looking at, some young guys down in the minors, and then you'll be in the same position that you were last year, preaching, oh, we like some of the young guys that we came up and only saw a cameo appearance of. We really think we got something there, and then you don't even have them in the major leagues the following year. If you DFA Tommy Pham now, at least you give those young guys, a runway, and then you can see what you have for them for, who knows, 2-3 months instead of just a couple of weeks. So Tommy Pham, it begins there, getting him the hell off the team. Everybody else in the lineup, they either need to be reduced to bench roles or, start playing better because there's nobody to replace them. You can bring up some of the guys from, AAA, but I hear they're not, some of the more promising bats down there. They've been average to below average. Nick York is a guy we talk about. Apparently he's not doing so hot this year. Billy Cook down there, haven't heard anything of him. And the rest of the guys down there, Alika Williams, no bat there. Jack Sawinski, one of those 4A players, absolutely, destroys AAA pitching, and then he comes up here and can't do anything. Just don't know what to do. Hell, bring back Joshua Palacios. I saw over the weekend Palacios got DFA'd from the White Sox. Probably not going to be, that big of a upgrade over Tommy Pham, but it would be an upgrade nonetheless. And also for as well as the Pirates have been with, relating to the fans, their PR losses left and right this year. At least bring back a fan favorite in Palacios. Just absolutely mind-numbing, disgusting, nauseating offense from this Buccos team. We had the little bit of a high there when Derek Shelton got fired and Donnie Kelly came in. Baseball was exciting there for a little bit. Now it's just slowly, and all you can do is just watch it. You have nothing that you can do to control it or alter it. You just got to watch this slow slide back down the hill into complete and total darkness here, because this offense, they cannot score more than 2 runs. If they score more than 2 runs in a game, we call that one hell of a success anymore. I want to know what's better, in your guys' opinion. What's better, the Pittsburgh Steelers offense under Matt Canada or the Pittsburgh Pirates bats right now? Because both are pretty much on the same level, in my opinion. Some other Buccos news here. They did make some roster moves lately. They claimed a pitcher, I believe, off of waivers from the Twins? No, LA, excuse me. They claimed right-handed pitcher Michael Derek Hicks off of waivers from the LA Angels. That happened actually during the game and during my live stream on Friday. What I know from that, Daryl Hicks, he's got like a ERA of 9. So great pickup there. Ben Sherrington, I think he's been optioned to AAA to make a corresponding move to get him on the 40-man roster. Endy Rodriguez, he was moved from the 10-day IL to the 60-day IL. He is going to be out for at least a month. There was an update on him given over the weekend. Donnie Kelly said that Rodriguez got a second opinion from Dr. Neil Elatrosh on his elbow. He will get a PRP injection sometime this week, and then he will have 4 weeks of complete rest. So Endy Rodriguez, at this point, nothing really to play for. You got to wonder if his season might be, considered being shut down. Who knows? Also, maybe he comes back for a cameo at the end of the year, a brief appearance there for like the final month, but who knows? Depends on how Joey Bart and Henry Davis do as well. So Endy, he's going to be out for a while. Then the Bucs today, they just made a move, another roster move back off of the 60-day injured list. Finally, we will get to see this guy maybe soon. Dari Moreta, he was reinstated from the 60-day IL. He was optioned to AAA, but it's great seeing Money Moreta back fully healthy. He will stay in AAA for the time being, but I'm sure he will be up in the big leagues soon once one of the other, pitchers up there maybe fall off a cliff. Also, Brett Sullivan, he was just DFA'd to make room for Dari Moreta. So, Brett Sullivan, welcome to the Bucs. Thank you for a cool, moment at home. I think a couple series ago when you started a game with a throwout and then you got an RBI single later in the day. Now go back down to AAA. Don't think he's going to be going anywhere. That's also a sign to me that Joey Bart will be activated off the IL. He is pretty much done with his concussion protocol. Following that, was watching last night him playing down in AAA. So that was a pretty telltale sign that he was going to be on the mends coming back here soon. One more time before we get into the more Pittsburgh news segment of the program. If you are new here, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. Also, feel free to like and share this video and comment in the comments section. Any thoughts, ideas, opinions, questions that you have, you can get those in there. I can pop those up whenever you do so. Now we are going to get into the more Pittsburgh news segment of the program. This one's pretty larger just because, there's really not any big news stories to talk about right now. The NFL and the Steelers, they've gone into silent mode. Everybody's on vacation out of the office before the season will really, begin again with training camp here coming up late next month. Also, off-season in hockey for the Penguins. The NHL Stanley Cup Finals will be coming to a close here soon. Florida Panthers up 3-2 in that series. We'll see if they can finish it out tomorrow night. So not much news on the Pens. That is, massive to talk about aside from the Evgeni Malkin story from Josh Yohe today. And then what we're left with the Pirates is to talk about how they're doing in games. So let's get on to the more news story segment. We're going to start with two things in the football world. We're going to grasp onto any little bit of Steelers news stories that we can. ML football on Friday. This was after I was done live for the day, checking out the Cubs and Pirates game. Apparently, Mike Tomlin hosted a cookout with Aaron Rodgers at his home in Pittsburgh when Rodgers first arrived in Pittsburgh. Now, this is probably when Rodgers signed with the Steelers and, is staying in Pittsburgh for mini camp last week. So, Tomlin apparently had Rodgers over to his house, showing him some of that Pittsburgh hospitality, and that's good to hear there. I think, opening up more to Aaron Rodgers signing with the team. Looks like he is going to be embracing a new side that we haven't seen from him in his career. We've already heard him, say, I'm going to mentor Will Howard and, help him with anything that he needs, something you've never heard from Rodgers before. Really talked up the city, talked about how he's going to, have the guys out to his house to work out, showed up to minicamp. That's a, side of him that we didn't see last year with the Jets, and now staying in Pittsburgh, having a cookout with Mike Tomlin. Seems like he's going to be all in what is going to be his final year of his career. The second Pittsburgh Steelers news story today, Charlie Batch and his foundation, they had the Best for the Batch Foundation event in the Steelers rookie class, met with kids today. Will Howard talked about how special it meant to them. Jack Sawyer spoke on it as well. Just great to see the Pittsburgh Steelers rookies getting involved in the community. You always see something like that. In my opinion, the Pittsburgh Steelers and their public relations department, their public service, initiatives that they have, probably the best in the NFL, in my opinion. Moving on to some more hockey news here about your Pittsburgh Penguins. These two things actually happened right after I was live on Friday. I was like, man, why couldn't have this happened like 10 minutes earlier? Because literally this news came across 10 minutes after I logged off. The Penguins, they have signed two of their own. You're going to see before free agency begins some teams re-signing and extending some of their current players. That is what the Penguins have did. First off, they have signed prospect forward Melvin Fernstrom to his 3-year entry-level contract. So Fernstrom, who was acquired from the Vancouver Canucks, in the Marcus Pettersson Drew O'Connor deal, he played over in the Sweden League, put up some decent numbers there. He has now signed his rookie deal. Will probably be coming over to America, maybe play in the AHL with Wilkes-Barre Scranton next year. Excited to see more from him. He'll be an eye that I will have a close eye on once rookie minicamp will start up for the Penguins here after the draft. Also, the second signing that they did, Boko Imama is back. Probably going to be my favorite re-signing of the entire offseason. Lots of people saying, you're going through a rebuild right now, but if you want to get a more tough, gritty, style of play to your team, this is the guy to have. Boko Imama, he's a heat-seeking missile out there. Anytime there's a scuffle going on the ice, he will stand up immediately on the bench, start taking, numbers there. And he's not going to be the most intimidating fighter, but he is going to be a stick-your face in the fan type of player. Absolutely love that. Throw him on the fourth line. If you're going to suck, at least be entertaining. That is what Boko Imama is going to be there. It's a 1-year deal for Boko. The contract will run through next season. It is a $775,000 AAV contract, not breaking the bank whatsoever. Fourth line grinder money. Easy re-signing there for Kyle Dubas and the Penguins. Welcome back, Boko Imama, and welcome to Pittsburgh, Melvin Fernstrom. Speaking of Pittsburgh Penguins players re-signing, how about we talk about another member of the organization leaving the New York Islanders today. They posted that they have made a hiring for their assistant general manager role and director of player personnel. It is Ryan Bonus. Now, I didn't think about anything of that signing. I was like, why does that name sound familiar? Couldn't put my thoughts all the way together on who that was. Shout out Seth Rohrabaugh. He picked it up for me. Bonus, he was a scout for the Penguins for 6 years, from 2016 through 2022. He was a member of the 2017 Stanley Cup championship team. Sucks that he's going to a division rival, kind of like what we've seen a lot this year. Mike Sullivan leaving for the Rangers. Also, some other various members of the organization leaving for newer opportunities. But now Bonus, he will head to the Islanders. But hey, good luck to him in his next assignment. And the last thing here, hockey related, this is no shock. The IIHF getting ready for the Olympics here next year, the Winter Olympics. The NHL players making their return to the Olympics. Just about each and every country in the Olympics next year for hockey, they released their top 6 players who are already on roster, pretty much no-brainer selections for their respective teams. Wouldn't you know it, Sidney Crosby, he made Team Canada for their preliminary roster. He is one of the 6 that is already on the team, joining Connor McDavid, Nathan MacKinnon, his good buddy, Cale Makar, Sam Reinhart, and Braden Point. Probably will get to see again. I won't say probably. It would be ideal that he gets to see again. The picture that the IIHF posted here, it showed Crosby with the C. I believe that's him in the Four Nations face-off. They also posted a picture of Connor McDavid. It would have been easy to, find a picture of McDavid from the Four Nations face-off and put that there, but they took a picture of him probably from his World Junior days with a C on his chest as well. So we'll see who gets the captaincy there. Just some other notes from, countries posting their first 6 players to their preliminary rosters. Former Penguin Lars Eller, he will make Team Denmark, along with some other NHL players. Nikolai Ehlers, Oliver Bjorkstrand, and Jonas Ronsberg from the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm sorry, it's hard to read this IHF graphic here because the way they did it, they got a picture of the player, but they got like the last name sideways, and then they flipped the first name and also put it sideways. It's hard to read. Graphics department batting 1,000 there. Some surprising names of current and former Penguins that didn't get mentioned in the preliminary roster announcements. Team Sweden, they have William Nylander, Adrian Kempe, Victor Hedman, Lucas Raymond, Rasmus Dahlin, and Gabriel Landeskog. No Erik Karlsson. He's been a Team Sweden regular for his entire career. He is not a part of the preliminary 6. Probably will make it, but just tells you how much of a dip he's taken in his career in Pittsburgh, that he is not being thought of as a top 6 player, Swedish player in the NHL anymore. And honestly, you're probably right going off that list. Also, former Penguin Jake Gensel, he did not make Team USA's preliminary 6. Pretty shocking to me, seeing how he did fairly decent in the Four Nations face-off, and also Mike Sullivan, team head coach of Team USA. You would have thought he would like to guarantee his old trusty player and Jake Gensel to be one of the top 6 for Team USA, but that is not the case. The Tkachuk brothers, Austin Matthews, Jack Eichel, Quinn Hughes, and Charlie McAvoy, Sullivan's son-in-law, those are the top 6 for Team USA. These are just the first 6. Sure, Gensel's going to make Team USA. Pretty sure with another, strong season this upcoming season, hopefully he stays on the Penguins. Rickard Rakell will make Team Sweden. Same with Erik Karlsson, probably, if he is a Penguin or not, after this year. And we will see a handful of other Penguins and former Penguins make their various countries as well. Still, though, I get with everything going on politically in the world right now, that Russia isn't going to be a part of the Olympics next year still waters down the competition a little bit. You would like to see the best on best go against each other, and Russia probably, not probably, is a top. It is guaranteed a top 3 hockey nation in the world. So sucks that they're not here. Would have been interesting to see if Evgeni Malkin would have made the top 6 there, but fortunately, politics and craziness in the world seems to differ. But anyway, we move along back into baseball here just for a couple of things. Andrew McCutchen, he dropped a bit of bombshell news recently. So this isn't an excuse for the Pittsburgh Pirates offense, but I'm sure a small percentage of it is this. There was some big hullabaloo recently. Apparently, Juan Soto absolutely mashed the ball for the New York Mets in a recent game. And off the bat, that ball looks like it could have been a home run in well over half of the ballparks in baseball. But unfortunately, it was just a fly out to the warning track. Andrew McCutchen saw this video and he retweeted it, dropping this news, saying, "I was told by a representative for the MLB that baseballs are indeed different this year. They started higher seams, which produces more drag on baseball, causing baseballs to not travel as far as they should. When asked why, I was told every baseball is hand sewn, so no ball is the same. When I asked if there is something that can be done about correcting the current performance of this year's baseball, I was told there was nothing that can be done about it this season, but they are working hard on getting to the bottom of why the seams are higher. So yeah, baseball, it is being diluted, being more pitcher friendly this year, at least in terms of the baseball. I wonder if this is a trade-off from the whole spider tack situation. You know, the MLB, they've cracked down heavily on pitchers using 6 sticky substances aside from, you know, the rosin bag behind the mound. They check hands and gloves and even, you know, hair and hats every single inning in pitching change now. So you got to wonder if this was a trade-off, that they're now manipulating the baseballs intentionally to, you know, keep balls in the yard. But still, though, baseball, it's entertaining when there are higher scores. That's evident for the Pirates. I wouldn't be as Debbie Downer today if they were, you know, losing these games, you know, by a run. I mean, I'd still be upset that they were losing them by a run, but it'd be better than watching the same old boring, you know, 2-1, 3-2 loss. I want to see, you know, a 8-7 game every now and again where the Bucs actually have a little bit of life on offense. This isn't excusing them for having poor personnel and poor instruction. Like, they're the most incompetent team, probably even below the historically bad Colorado Rockies in terms of offensive production. But just wanted to point that out there. Andrew McCutchen, that post from McCutchen, it has gotten over 3.4 million views. It's been retweeted 2,500 times, has gotten just about 450 comments. So Andrew McCutchen may be shedding a little bit of light on something that baseball does not want out there, but that would explain at least a little bit why it seems baseball is being, you know, less offensively driven. And I'm sure, you know, I'm not saying like, hey, I want to see a blowout every time when I watch a baseball game. I want to see, you know, high runs, high hit totals, everything. But, you know, I'd rather the pitchers have sticky stuff, honestly, than just have these baseballs manipulated where us Commons fans, we see like we've watched baseball all our lives and we can see half the time off the bat, like, oh crap, this ball, it's going a long way. And then it's just a routine, you know, fly out, or it goes to just a warning track. So your thoughts on that, be interested in that, what you think of Andrew McCutchen and what he's revealed there about baseballs being manipulated to keep the ball in the yard more this year. Speaking of Kutch, the Pirates, they just posted an hour ago. I haven't done this yet, nor have I really had the motivation to, because really nobody on the Bucs, aside from maybe 2 or 3 guys, deserve it. But apparently Andrew McCutchen and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa are still in the top 10 in their position groups in the National League for All-Star voting. McCutchen, I'm sure, in there for DH, and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa for either shortstop or utility man. Probably his high batting average is contributing to that, even though he doesn't have the required at-bats to be featured in the actual, batting average leader chart. So go out and vote for the Bucs and get them to the All-Star game if you feel like it. Kutch and IKF, though, being the top, guys, I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have, prior to like the past 2-3 weeks, said O'Neal Cruz, he should be, in consideration for the All-Star game. Maybe he still is. He should at least, if he could maybe get back on a heater here for the next couple weeks, be in the home run derby, but who knows? All-Star game also pretty much a, popularity fest, popularity competition. I would be shocked if Paul Skeens isn't in it, even though he has a 4-6 record. Anybody with a pulse and half a brain for baseball would know that, he is the best pitcher in baseball right now. He's been on a absolute tear. It's just not his fault that he can throw 2 complete games and take losses in both of them this year. He can't bat offensively, even though, it wouldn't be the worst idea to give Paul Skeens a bat. He did, hit in college, started out as a catcher. His coach thought highly of him as a batter in college. Why not give him the opportunity? Let him try to be, at least a little bit of Shohei Ohtani. By the way, Ohtani pitching tonight for the first time in just about 2 years. So why not have Paul Skeens at least try to help himself out a little bit, seeing how the rest of the team won't. Only downside there, and honestly probably the thing that will keep him, which I respect. You'd be scared of him getting hit in the head or hit in the hand or the arm and, affect him in how he goes out and pitches, or God forbid, knock him out of the rotation for a while with an injury. Last thing here on the Bucs, talking about, what they could do to, fix their offense right now. How about call up Connor Griffin? I don't care if he's 19 years old. I don't even care that, he's doing this in single A. He's been on an absolute tear in the minor leagues pretty much this entire season. Started in Bradenton, now has been called up to High A Greensboro. His first week in Greensboro, he's hitting .407, has 11 hits, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, 6 stolen bases, a 1,200 OPS. Send him to Altoona already. If he goes to Altoona, I would probably tell you right now, if he were to get called up to Altoona right now, you will see me go to an Altoona Curve game this year before I go to a Pittsburgh Pirates game, and that is the truth. So send him to Altoona. I would even understand it if he skips Altoona altogether and goes to AAA. Very unlikely, and matter of fact, it's pretty much damn near an impossibility. He's going to be in the big leagues this year, but let him make the big leagues next year. I don't care if he'll be 20 years old at the time. You need a bat anyway, which way you can get it right now. And Connor Griffin, getting him to the big leagues would be the ideal thing to happen here. I don't care if it's out of your process, Ben Sherrington, because that's all you seem to give about, you freaking analytic creep. So that's it for the more sports news here for today. Let me take one stroll here through Twitter, see if anything is going on, any new news happening in the sports world. Was watching the College World Series a bit today, and apparently a pitcher for Arkansas, Gage Wood, he threw a no-hitter. It is the 3rd no-hitter in College World Series history. Struck out 19 of 27 in his performance as well. Shocked that Paul Skeens never did anything like that. Maybe he did, and I just never heard about it. But, Skeens, he did get a heavy workload in college. That's everywhere right now. That kid throwing that no-hitter 3rd time in college World Series history. Just seeing a bunch of other things here. Lots of the national media talking about Aaron Rodgers. Albert Breer, NFL insider, saying that the relationship between Aaron Rodgers and Arthur Smith is off to a good start. Mike Greenberg from ESPN, he says that Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh will go way better than what most people are anticipating. Peter Schrager, he chimed in saying he believes that Aaron Rodgers' addition could make the Steelers a Super Bowl contender. It's going a little bit too far there, Schrager. I mean, unless Aaron Rodgers puts the entire team on his back for the most part and is going to get a, 5th NFL MVP, don't see, that happening. Also, Mark Kaboly, Steelers correspondent for the Pat McAfee show, he says that Aaron Rodgers came into Pittsburgh to be one of the dudes. Aaron Rodgers, he comes over. They're playing huge games of cards right there. He pulls up a chair next to Cam Hayward, Miles Killebrew. I don't know if he played or not, but he's jumping in there. He's trying not to offend Will Howard by saying, hey, why don't you try this? Everything seems to be working with Rodgers. I see no sense of entitlement. I see no sense of, hey, I'm Aaron Rodgers. He just came in trying to be one of the dudes. That is great to hear. That was one of the things that, I was for sure probably going to say if Rodgers didn't sign and he's just going to take this thing, into training camp at Latrobe or past it. Wouldn't have imagined in my wildest dreams seeing Aaron Rodgers be willing to go stay in a college dorm room. But hey, it seems like he is going to be, if Mark Kaboly, what he says there is right, he's going to be one of the dudes. And wouldn't be surprised if you see one of those videos like what TJ Watt took a couple years ago, where it's him, Cam Hayward, a bunch of the team, playing board games and card games in the dormitories. I would love to see, in a game of chess, Aaron Rodgers against, Cam Hayward, something like that. Real strategy. I'm sure Rodgers would take into that. Looking here, seeing if anything else new is going on. Still seeing a lot of the fallout from that big Boston Red Sox trade last night, sending Rafael Devers to the San Francisco Giants for a left-handed pitcher, Kyle Harrison, a right-handed pitcher, Jordan Hicks, and 2 prospects. Their fans not happy whatsoever. Big loss for Fenway Sports Group. Before you do anything like that to the Penguins, just please sell it back to Mario. That's all I ask. Looking else here. Oh, actually, I do have one more thing. We talked about on Friday a bit. This came in the later stages of my live stream for the Bucs game. Believe it was Pierre LeBrun who said that a lot of teams are calling around the Penguins, saying that they're looking to maybe trade for Brian Rust. He has a good market for him right now. Apparently, David Pagnotta confirmed this yesterday, saying that the Penguins are looking to sell off pieces. They are entertaining offers on Erik Karlsson, no surprise, Brian Rust, and Rickard Rakell. The Los Angeles Kings, they have been one of the teams talking with them. Wonder who the Kings would be talking about, who they would be talking about in that sense. Wonder if it would be Rust, but, they got a top line winger in Adrian Kempe. They also got Kevin Fiala as well. Maybe they're talking about Erik Karlsson, try to pair him up with Drew Doughty. I mean, Doughty, he's been there forever, but his days as a number 1 defenseman maybe seem to be tapering off. Maybe they think that, we bring in Erik Karlsson, we pair him with Drew Doughty, we can do what the Pens couldn't do with Letang. Who knows? If I had to pick, Karlsson, he can go. Brian Rust, my favorite. Honestly, in recent years, I was a big Patrick Hornquist guy. He got traded. Then I was Gensel. Then he got traded. Brian Rust, pretty much been my favorite Penguin for the past couple of years. Got his jersey right there behind me. Not sure if you can see it. But if he were to get traded, I would kind of understand that as well. The guy that I would want to keep the most off of that trio there is probably Raquel. Puts up one hell of a season. I understand if you were to sell high on him, I would, but at some point you got to keep some guys around Sid to keep him happy and also pass on the Penguins away to the next generation. But we'll see. All I know is that, we got to trust the Kyle Dubas process, and let's just hope that he doesn't make a trade that the Boston Red Sox just did in their league. Don't make him sell off players just for the hell of it there, Fenway. Back to the Twitter timeline here, seeing if there's anything else. Not seeing much of anything. There's actually a negative thing for the Steelers. Dan Graziano, who I guess was a big Aaron Rodgers fan, said that the Steelers are in for a rough 2025 season. Rodgers is 41, going to be 42, and this is not a team that was like a plug-in quarterback away, and now you have a contender. Saying that they do not have a contender seems to be calling the defense old as well, referencing the TJ Watt contract situation, which hopefully that will get done soon too. I saw that the Cincinnati Bengals and Trey Hendrickson, they have resumed conversations on a contract for him. If I'm the Steelers, I'm seeing that I'm putting my, I'm not getting on my 6 a.m. flight to Bermuda. I'm going to, postpone my vacation there for a couple of days, get TJ back into Pittsburgh, assuming he didn't left, or at least get him on the phone, get a deal done before Hendrickson or even Micah Parsons of the Cowboys gets done. If you want to keep TJ in Pittsburgh, if, you say you want to keep him as a one-helmet guy, if he wants to be a one-helmet guy, better get him done before one of those two guys get done. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that seems to be it for today. Stayed on here quite decently for not having a lot of news, but not seeing much of anything else related to your Pittsburgh Steelers, Penguins, or Pirates right now. So I think that's going to do it for tonight's live stream. I will be back here tomorrow night, probably around the same time, between 5 and 6, like what we normally do. Hope you join me back here then. But before I log off for the night, I do want to say this, even though it was yesterday, happy Father's Day to all of the fathers who are watching this live stream right now, or who will be watching this later after it is done and just up on YouTube for there to watch. So for those of you out there who are fathers, godfathers, grandparents, stepfathers, whatever the case may be, happy Father's Day to you. To my dad, happy Father's Day, Dad. Love you very much. Thank you for all that you do for me and the rest of the family. So with that, happy Father's Day to all of you. Just wanted to say that even though it's a day late. And for the final time here today, like and share this video, comment on it after the fact as well. Like or subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. I will see you guys back here tomorrow night. That is going to do it here for tonight. Have a good rest of your Monday. See you back here tomorrow. Have a good live stream. We will be back here talking more about who knows what Bucs. They'll begin a new series tomorrow night. Till then, see you guys back here for some more Pittsburgh sports news.